So the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom coverage has kind of been ramping up on this channel because there's actually been some interesting discoveries to talk about. It's still a game that's shrouded in mystery, a game that we've only seen about 40 seconds of gameplay from, so we're having to draw conclusions from whatever information is out there, and really whatever information we can find on the game. Now, a couple days ago, we talked about the potential for a strong online integration in this upcoming game. There was an advertisement that had came out allegedly. We have to take these things with a grain of salt. It looked pretty convincing to me. I don't see that being a fake advertisement, but it was in another language. There was a big Nintendo Switch Online logo on that advertisement, and a lot of people thought that there was going to be some online integration in the game. We sort of theorized what different ways there could be with this, something like a Souls-like thing. Obviously, within one of the first trailers, actually the first trailer that we got for this game, there was a strong connection between Link and Zelda in a cave, so could there be some online co-op with the game? I saw a lot of people, though, say some things like, well, this is Nintendo's main game, this is one of their biggest IPs. I don't see them really locking anything that involves the game behind a paywall, because you do have to pay for the Nintendo Switch Online service. And I thought that was an interesting comment to make, something that we could definitely, look into. But to something like that, I have to say, well, what about a game like Splatoon 3? Like, Splatoon is freaking huge right now. It's one of Nintendo's biggest and strongest IPs, and a vast majority of that game is locked behind a Nintendo Switch Online account. In order to play that game to its fullest potential, or even just enjoy some of it, you have to have a Nintendo Switch Online account. So I don't necessarily think that game, that Zelda Tears of the Kingdom wouldn't have some online component, simply because of the fact that the Switch Online is, held behind a paywall. You have to pay for that service. It's 2023, by the time this game comes out, it'll be 2023. Think of how many games on other platforms you have to have an online account to play. I think Nintendo would just be kind of getting with the times with that. But that's just sort of speculation. We don't really know if that online thing is going to be something, but now we have something else to talk about, because over on Reddit, a Tears of the Kingdom OLED Special Edition has popped up, and people are once again theorizing. Is this real? Is this fake? Well, let's take a look at it and try to find out. So here's the post in question, done by AOAID NBN 9 hours ago from the time of the filming of this video. The Tears of the Kingdom OLED Special Edition. Spoiler alert. Let's see here. What do we got? Well, this just leaked. Oh, look at this. Zelda tubers on the way to make 50 more 10-minute videos off of whatever the F is shown here. You only have to make 8-minute videos now, you fool. You don't have to make 10-minute videos. God, these people, they need to keep up with the time. So here is the system in question. Now, it does look pretty convincing. It does look pretty convincing. Obviously, there is no sort of new information as far as, background stuff or concept art. We have the Switch OLED model here. The text, the font looks a little bit weird, and some people are talking about that. I mean, if whoever designed this, let's just say it is fake, if whoever designed this did go out of their way to make this different sort of text that we haven't seen before, they've done a damn convincing job, because you can look here and you can see, I mean, it's pretty much what you would expect from a Switch OLED revision for the Nintendo Switch. We have some branding here with some weird Hyrule hieroglyphics, because people are super into the lore of the game via stuff that the average person can't read. You have some Zelda themed Joy-Cons here, and I mean, what else do you really need for a Switch Special Edition? You can look here and we can see a better picture. There is some sort of engraving here on the back of the system. We have our Joy-Cons that are kind of mysterious looking, yeah, there's Zelda E, but nothing really sort of jumps out of the page and sort of screams Zelda, but you do have the gold and green color scheme which of course The Legend of Zelda has been known for. I do like this. I think this gold right here is very sexy, and like the inner buttons of the Joy-Con being gold, I think that's a really cool look. And you know, it's hard to sit here and be like, oh, this is fake. Like, look at this. Like, oh, this is fake. Like, if this is fake, bro, somebody went out of their way and did a damn good job to make this. Look at this little crusty thumbnail here. Or, yeah, I guess technically it is a thumbnail. But yeah, you know, if somebody went out of their way to make this a thing, like this is extremely convincing, to the point of where, let's be real, this whole thing makes sense. We've talked previously about the potential for there being a special edition for Tears of the Kingdom when it comes to the Nintendo Switch system. They've done it for Splatoon 3, the aforementioned game that, you know, a lot of it's hidden behind an online paywall. They did it for games like Pokemon. There have been so many Switch revisions, quote unquote, at least theme-wise, for the OLED and other systems, that this just makes perfect sense to me. There was that leak a few months ago that or like a month or two ago that we talked about, where Nintendo had reissued a patent, which a lot of people thought, well, what is this going to be? What sort of Switch is this going to be? And what did I say in that video? It's going to be a Zelda Special Edition Switch OLED. So I think this does two things. First off, it pretty much confirms, at least in my eyes, you know, it could be a fake, but I just don't think it is, that this is going to be something that comes out alongside of Tears of the Kingdom, or around the launch of Tears of the Kingdom, usually a few weeks beforehand. And secondly, this just shows that this system, or this game, Tears of the Kingdom, is not launching alongside a new hardware. If they're making a new OLED for it, it's clear there's still people that think this game is going to launch along new hardware. You know, I've sort of cooled off that mantra. I think it's more of like the whole thing that we talked about with Skyward Sword and the Wii, where it's, you know, Skyward Sword came out for the Wii, and then Nintendo just kind of moved on to the next thing. Literally 1 year to the date from Skyward Sword's release, we had the Wii U release, and Nintendo just released essentially smaller titles throughout the Wii's life cycle. I think that's what we're going to see with the Nintendo Switch here. In a year, you'll probably get your new system, and this is essentially going to be the swan song for the system. There's been a new rumor that people are talking about, the fact that, you know, some journalist said back in November that this was going to be the swan song, and at least in Nintendo's eyes, they weren't going to be releasing any bigger games. People are like, what about Pikmin 4, and what about Metroid Prime 4? I mean, bigger is subjective. We don't know a damn thing about Metroid Prime 4 anyways. Pikmin, to me, is a niche franchise, so everything makes sense. I think the timeline of events makes perfect sense here, and I honestly feel like this is a real thing. But what do you think? Because at the end of the day, that's what really matters. What you think. What do you believe in? Do you believe in Santa Claus and the Yeti and Bigfoot and the Chupacabra and aliens and ghosts? Because I believe in them all, because I don't know, man, I'm kind of weird. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. I'm not on camera because I am currently sick right now. I haven't cleaned up my facial hair. My eyes are kind of crusty. My throat is kind of dry, and I'm just feeling a little bit under the weather, man. So if you made it to the end of this video, be sure to share it around. That will make me feel better, give it to more people's eyes to see. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. I'll have another video up tomorrow, sort of recapping the year, and then talking about a big change coming to the channel in 2023 that you might be interested in. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.